So, I just wanted to do a 1 week review of being on YouTube and also what I've learned and since my diagnosis, basically. So I wanted it to be quite quick. I apologize for my hair. I've been out in the rain and I've got a shower today, so I'll do that later. But yeah, I think it's it's been an interesting week of just being unapologetically me, which was one of my goals when I first started these videos. Was just to be completely unapologetic for who I am, my facial expressions, not kind of redoing videos when I see the wrong facial expressions on my face and things like that. So yeah, just kind of being me completely. And I just want to tell you all the things I've learned so far from since having a diagnosis and really ultimately the feeling that it's given me having a diagnosis. So for many years I was like quite confused about why I felt so different to people. And a lot of people were like, oh, no, you're not that different. And, they would tell me that I wasn't and things like that. But I knew deep down that when I came home, when it was just about me being myself, I was very different. And me and Rich kind of get along really well. He's been diagnosed since he was very young, and it was just like, why am I so different? And I often had the problem was I often had this thing like, what's wrong with me, which is an awful thing to think about yourself for most of your life. But I thought, what's wrong with me? What is wrong with Becky? like I went into psychology. That's not really that long ago, really, about say 3.5 years ago. And I started to think, there's a lot of trauma in my background, but also there's a lot of differences in how I learn and how I see things. And the idea of autism only came up really quite early on, and I went to go for an assessment really to help me through uni, because I thought that it might be useful to have an ISP and be able to sorry, my dog is over there. She's just been for a walk and she's shaking and she's all happy about that. So yeah, basically I thought it might help me have an ISP so that I would be able to have a little bit of extra time, because I was struggling with keeping up with uni. I did it, but I stressed myself out doing it. So yeah, then I kind of went for this assessment, and it was really interesting, and I found it really fascinating from a psychology perspective, from somebody who really got into psychology. Actually, I was really into the brain. I find the brain fascinating, how the brain works and all that kind of stuff. Just, it's my thing. And I've been through all the self-help books, trying to kind of become a better person, probably trying to change myself, really. And yeah, just I have a lot of I just have a lot of fascination about the mind, probably because mine has been so confusing that I've just been curious about how the mind works. So yeah, what I have found since having this diagnosis, which has been amazing, I think, because I kind of already knew, but I didn't have this confirmation to be able to say, yes, I am. And for me, a person who likes things to be well within the rules, I needed that clarification in my head to say, yes, you are, definitely. So when I was told, yes, I am, I think it gave me the freedom to say, okay, this is me. And that's what these YouTube videos are all about, really, is this me saying, this is me. Sometimes, I wait until the end of the day to have a shower because I think to myself, I'm going to take the dog out for a walk. I'm only going to get, more and more, more dirty taking the dog out. So I tend to like wait for things like that. I don't always look the best. I make mistakes. I do the lazy way, really, as people might say, and I try to make things as easy as possible in my home. I try to make everything easy to do, because if it's not easy to do, I find it really hard to get through my list of tasks, and that's just daily, basic, normal, everyday tasks. It really only became clear to me that I was autistic when I started to really, really struggle halfway through uni, especially when I had my injury, and I couldn't cope with the social idea of being in pain and having people see, not being able to say, actually, I can't stay here. I found that really hard to walk out of class and just say, I can't be here right now. It's causing me too much pain to sit down. So most of the time, I struggled to even try and go into uni. So yeah, this has been a kind of, it's opened my eyes. It's given me this kind of light bulb moment to say, actually, you know, it's okay to be who you are, and stop beating yourself up. Stop having a go at yourself. Calm down with yourself, because you don't have to beat yourself up all the time. You don't have to be so angry that you can't, keep up with everyone else. And instead be nice to yourself. And I think that's the biggest, hugest part of making these videos and being here, is that I'm able to say to myself, look, you're human, you also have autism, you have certain sensory struggles, and instead of trying to force yourself to be somebody who doesn't have those struggles, just embrace them, just accept who you are, and work with yourself instead of against yourself. And that's what this week has done for me so far. It's given me the confidence to say I am autistic, and it's also given me the confidence to say this is how I can make myself feel better, and to go online and ask things like, well, how do you motivate somebody? How do I motivate myself if I'm autistic? How do I approach a task if I'm autistic? And there's some really interesting stuff that I found, and it's been really helpful. So knowing that I have those needs has only made things better for me, and it's made me approach things better, and it's helped me to do tasks that I've been struggling to do.